Hey guys, thinking about starting your own vlog, but stuck at what camera to use? Do you buy a professional mirrorless? Maybe a pocket beast? Or maybe you go with the latest iPhone Flex? I was kind of in the same boat, and I'm putting all three to the test as a guy who's brand new to this, very minimal editing experience, and honestly, I'm going to do it my way. In the studio, real life, and in the gym. No fluff. Just raw results from a guy who doesn't necessarily know how to edit. So if you want the truth, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So if you're like me and you're starting your vlogging side, there's so many cameras out there that you just really don't know where to go. Do you go overinvest? Do you stick with what you got? Do you work? Is it editing? Is it the camera? So on and so forth. Honestly, I wanted to answer the same questions. Full transparency, I didn't go out and buy any of the equipment that I am testing today as part of this for vlogging. I had all three cameras readily available, so I'm going to be comparing those. My Pro mirrorless is going to be my Sony A7 III. My Pocket Pro, or my Pocket Beast, is going to be the Sony RX0 II. And then, of course, my iPhone Flex. I would use my iPhone 16 Max, but I want to be able to obviously test this while I'm working out. And so I'm going to use my old iPhone 15 Pro. Now, I am going to do some things to ensure that everything is treated equally. One, I have very minimal editing experience. So I am going to do my very best to make sure that everything is as equal as humanly possible. Number one, during all the filming sessions where there's going to be sound, I am not testing microphone. I'm using the same microphone for every single project. So that's going to be my wonderful wireless mic that I've got. The second thing is I am going to be shooting everything in log. Now, the logs are going to be different. Sony is obviously, the two of those are going to be in S-Log3, and the iPhone is in ProRes. So the goal with this is ultimately I want to see how everything performs within equal lighting as best as I possibly can. So with that, I'm going to run through. We're going to do some reviews just so that I can give everybody the same kind of sample as we look into the cameras, and we'll go from there. First up is the Mini Beast. Now obviously this is being shot on my Sony A7 III, and so I figured I'd shoot a Sony with a Sony. Why not? The importance is when I showcase the Sony A7 III, you're going to see the size. And I think size is really something that matters, especially as we're looking at this from a vlog perspective. I'm looking at this specifically from the ability to do filming within the gym environment and filming in everyday life. So the size of this thing is amazing. I truly, truly love it. I use this all the time when I was traveling the world so that I could take photos. The lens is phenomenal. It's an f4 lens, so it just did really, really well. This cage that is on, you don't need to have, but I'll make sure that I call out, even though nobody's paying me for this, I'll at least reference. This is a small rig cage. Again, I do this with every single one of mine. You're going to see that I'm a small rig fanboy as we go through that. The camera itself is really small. The things that I really do like about it is you can flip it up. So if you need to be able to see your shot, you can definitely flip it up. It is very lightweight, and it's with the cage you can actually put an ND filter on it. So if you are filming outside, it does really good. Now the only reason I'm referencing the ND filters is because, again, I come from the photography background, so ND filters really help with exposure. It's the same thing with videography. Even though I suck at videography, you get some of the same principles. So that's the overview of the Sony RX0 II. All right, so up next is going to be showcasing the RX0 II, how it films, and I'm going to
highlight the iPhone. So keep in mind this is to see the video quality of the RX0 II, and I'm just gonna kind of showcase what I do with my iPhone. So the iPhone itself is an iPhone 15 Pro. It is just a normal Pro. That's it. I don't use it anymore, so it allows me to keep it in a cage. This cage, again, I mentioned I'm a small rig fanboy. It is a small rig iPhone 15 Pro cage that allows you for the lens adapters. It's got a lot of really cool things such as the grip that you can get to. My favorite though is allows you to take your iPhone and instantaneously put it on a tripod, like a real tripod, not one of those grippers that have a chance to fall. I can do whatever in the heck I want with this sucker and it's not going to go anywhere. So that's why I'm a fan of that. And where we're really looking at flexibility, or when I was looking at this, I'm looking at flexibility as well as quality. And then attached is the Lexar Professional external hard drive. Again, this is just so that I can film in ProRes because it is a large file. So hopefully the video quality gives us a test, and I'll come back after we edit and we'll kind of give a review. All right, so I'm currently filming on the iPhone 15 Pro. Obviously this is in studio lighting, so this allows you to do the video quality test. And like all the ones before, we're going to review another camera setup. So this is the Sony A7 III. You'll notice that I am truly a small rig fanboy. It's a small rig cage, the handle, the desk tripod, but the camera itself is the Sony A7 III, shooting on the Sony G Master, which is an FE 2.8 24-70 lens. Probably my favorite lens of all time. If you're a photographer, you will agree with that. It is amazing. I'm really drawn to this camera strictly because I have taken so many quality photos with it, but it is heavy. It is an absolute beast to go on. I mean, heavy is relative. It's not as heavy as a DSLR, but it's still much heavier than an iPhone, much heavier than the RX0 II. But yeah, that's kind of the review, so that you got a chance to see how the iPhone quality holds up within this studio environment. Next steps for me is I'm going to take all of this footage, upload it in, and we will do the studio light review, and we'll be back and see how things go. All right, so I've officially uploaded and looked at the starting footage of the Sony A7 III, the Sony RX0 II, as well as the iPhone. And there's pros and cons for sure. If I look at just studio, the best quality is definitely going to come out, and full fairness, I think it's no surprise the mirrorless is going to win. It was just phenomenal quality, really easy to edit, the best overall setup because you know exactly where you're looking at any given time. You don't have to be worried about what's in frame, what's out of frame. You just kind of know from a studio perspective. The surprising one from a studio side is definitely going to be the iPhone. And the only reason I say that is there's 2 extra steps you have to take with the Sonys. And it's not really that much, but it's basically you import the footage same way. Both are going to be imported. You drop them in, same thing. The iPhone is automatically going to work, mainly because it's Final Cut Pro that I'm using, and it just knows that, hey, this is ProRes, let's go ahead and color grade it to ProRes. So all the stuff that I did had 0 color grading to it whatsoever, where the Sony I had to go in. Now, it's super easy there too. All you got to do is drop in a LUT. There's lots of them out there. There's S-Log 2, there's S-Log 3. So many out there, but I have to do a custom LUT, and then I have to kind of tweak some things here or there, but it's, again, super easy. It's typically 2 extra steps though. Have to create the LUT or drop the LUT in, and then I have to do the actual color grading on top. Now, from a studio perspective, I don't mind that because I'd rather have the super high quality across the board, and I don't have to lug around a big, I don't have to worry about the size components. I don't have to worry about anything else. So it does make a lot of sense to have a mirrorless within your office or studio environments. This is definitely my home office, but all right, so the next step as we go through is going through and looking at them in actual usage. I need to go to the gym. I need to actually do a workout. I'm not going to subject you guys to the entirety of the workout, but we are going to go through the gym. Now, full transparency, because I did the gym recording earlier today, my iPhone had an issue where I did not charge it. And so it just stopped recording because it died. Both the Sonys did for my home gym, and so you're going to have two different styles of footage. You're going to have my home gym footage for the Sony cameras, and you're going to have my public gym as I go tonight with the iPhone. So that way you still get same day kind of element, but they are going to be in two different lighting conditions, that kind of thing. Sorry, I poorly planned on the battery, and I do want to get this video out. So. All right, so we are back. I have reviewed all the footage. I guess I kind of cheated a little bit and went back and did some bench so that I could compare. I didn't feel it was right to have different lighting conditions. So what are my final thoughts? I think real easy. I love the Sony mirrorless when it comes to the quality of the video, just the ability, the flexibility that it gives you. From a home gym perspective, I think it's phenomenal. The video quality is great. I love S-Log. I think it's phenomenal. And so ultimately, the best quality for sure goes into the Sony. I think that's no surprise. It's a very expensive camera. It's a very expensive lens. It's the way that it's going to work. So best studio rig is going to the Sony. The best home gym kind of view, I think I'm going to put as a tie, quite honestly, between my iPhone 15 Pro and the Sony RX0. I think all of them had really good quality. All of them had the ability to do what needed to be done. And ultimately, I think it was a great comparison. Now, outside, the one thing I didn't do necessarily was test it in just like outdoor conditions. But quite honestly, I think it's going to come down to what is the camera and the equipment you have and that you feel comfortable with. So if I go through and I'm really looking at how do I record, how do I get better video, it's the camera that you have is ultimately the camera you're going to use. And so I think that is important, and that's why I think my go-to is by far my iPhone 15 Pro rig, and I think it will continue to be the iPhone 15 Pro rig just because I'm already carrying equipment with me, and it's super easy to go through.
Second transfer is going to be my RX0, and then my constant one that's going to be here in the office with me is definitely going to be my Sony. So all in all, I think go with the camera you got. Film where you are, and utilize what you can to get started, because as you can see from an editing perspective, they all pretty much kind of turn out the same when you're first starting and you don't know what you're doing. So with that being said, thanks for watching the vlog 4. Hopefully this was valuable to you. If it was, hit like, hit subscribe, share. I am trying to grow the audience a little bit, just so that I can get some feedback, ultimately hold myself accountable from a fitness journey perspective, and kind of go from there. So thank you guys very much, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.